sure who else is joining for sure. So let's give everybody just one more minute just in case. Thought there might be 2 or 3 others, but we will see. I did want to say, I didn't put this in the email this morning, sorry. Do bring a blanket or either a yoga blanket or a large towel. We're going to start off with a supported posture, and we're going to be doing a little bit of work on the knees. Hey, good morning, Prashanti. So just have a yoga blanket, or if you don't have a yoga blanket per se, a large towel will do, or even maybe a pillow, a yoga bolster if you have one of those. But I wasn't gonna bring a bolster in unless you just really want to use one. All right, well, it's 3 after, so I'm not sure if the others are hopping on just yet. Prashanti or Namita asked me to record because she couldn't make it, and the others may be doing something else this morning. So we'll just go ahead and get started. We're going to begin today's practice. Let me just say this. I'll start because I'm actually recording this. So welcome to Mindful Flow on Sunday morning. So happy to have you all with me, whether you're here live or whether you're watching this recording later. Today's practice is going to be mainly concentrating on upper body, opening shoulders, relaxing shoulders, neck muscles, and really concentrating on an open heart area. So the benefit of all of this, and when we're doing an open heart practice, is that it's an uplifting practice. It's a practice that allows you to kind of break open a little bit and release tension, of course, in the upper body, work out some kinks that you might have, but it's also emotionally uplifting. And so hope that's what it brings to you today. We're going to begin in a supported Matsyasana, which is fish pose. So I'd like you to take your blanket or your support if you have one nearby. And if I'm going to use a blanket roll, so what I've done is roll up the blanket so it's a fairly tight and nice support to come under the upper back. You could use a yoga bolster if you have one. If you're using a large towel, just do the same thing. Just something to create a little bit of support underneath the upper back. And we're going to lay all the way down and just begin with a little meditation, a little breath work, and letting the upper body start to open up. So you're going to bring that support right up underneath the middle part of your back. You want your shoulders to roll off of the support and just feel a sense of gravity bringing them down to the ground. Your arms, once you have that support in place and you feel like your center of your heart is what's lifting up the highest, then you're going to bring your arms into a T off the shoulder, if that's appropriate for you, if that feels comfortable. If not, then please just bring your arms wherever they feel most relaxed. And once you've created the initial shape, we'll just start to relax everything down. Always is nice to take the first few minutes of our practice to sort of center the body, center our mind, and just allow everything to start to come a little bit more inward. So as you feel your chest rising with the support in place, I want you to consciously begin to relax the rest of your body. You can do that by pretending that the body is very soft and heavy. Begin to notice your breath. Begin to bring your awareness simply around the inflow and outflow of breath. If thoughts want to pop in your head, if you find yourself taking your attention to other things, maybe it's something going on in your home, maybe it's something that you want to address later, remember that right now you're creating a space for yourself. So you can do that simply by noticing your breath. Feel your breath begin to come in and out of your body with more conscious awareness. Maybe drawing the breath in a little bit deeper and noticing, does it come down simply into your throat? Or can you make it drop down into the lungs? If you already feel that breath in your lungs, then maybe you draw it down a little bit deeper. Maybe you feel it come and start to tickle into the top of your belly. Each breath in, feel your heart lift. With each breath out, find some gratefulness for this joy within. Inhaling, cracking open your heart a little bit wider, exhaling and relaxing down. Let's stay here for about a minute. Feeling that soft, deep breath begin to infuse your body with peace, with this sense of calm. Blowing any abstract thoughts away, just like clouds in the sky. Relax your shoulders. Wherever you feel any tension, soften into that area and relax down a little bit more. Okay, we're going to take 3 more breaths here. Nice and slow. Perhaps offer this mantra to yourself that we can use throughout this practice. Inhaling, I open my heart to this day. Exhaling, I will find peace and calm. Last deep breath all the way in. Open your heart, feel it lift, feel it expand, and then exhale, release it down. All right, on your next breath in, lift your arms up from where they were on the sides, bring them up and overhead, fingers reaching toward the ceiling, and then cross your arms around your upper body. Reach your hands back around, see if you can touch your shoulder blades in the back. Hug yourself in tightly with your arms. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Exhale, uncross your arms, open them up. And you can start to roll to one side, just enough to push the blanket out from underneath, and then lay right back down with your back flat on the ground now. Take one nice breath here in a neutral position. Exhale and let it spill out the mouth. You have arrived. All right, go ahead and bend your knees. Bring the soles of your feet to the mat. Hands are beside your hips, palms down. With the soles of the feet pressing down, lift up all 10 toes, curl them up toward the ceiling, and then place them down one at a time so that you feel all 4 corners of your feet pressing down into the mat. And then on your next inhale, take a little pelvic tilt. So you're going to roll the pubic bone up as you inhale, slightly lifting the tailbone like it's pressing up toward the sky. On your exhale, you're going to roll it all the way down, lifting up that little pocket of space in the lower back as you do. Inhale, take your pelvic tilt, press your waist down on the mat, but lift your tailbone up. Exhale, roll it down all the way to the tip of the tailbone. One more time with that breath. Inhale. Exhale, roll it down. Next inhale, we're going to take that same pelvic tilt. Inhale, tilting it up, but then you're going to press down through your feet, lifting your hips up off of the mat. Your hip points are lifting up toward the ceiling. You're going to engage your legs, so engage your quadriceps and press your knees toward the front of the mat, coming into just a very simple bridge pose. Take one full breath at the top of this bridge. Palms are pressing down, feet are pressing down. Exhale, and then one vertebra at a time, roll the spine down to the tip of the tailbone. Inhale, take a breath in again, lift up to bridge pose once again. Hips are lifting high, and now you're going to press down through your shoulder blades as well. So you're pressing down through the shoulder blades and the soles of your feet. These are the 2 ends of your bridge. Deep inhale at the top of your bridge. Exhale, one little vertebra at a time, roll it down to the tip of the tailbone. We're going to press up one more time to bridge. So inhale, lift everything up, hips are rising, pressing the outer edges of your shoulders and shoulder blades down, all the way down to your feet. Deep inhale at the top. And then exhale, roll it down. Next inhale, lift your feet off the mat, hug your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your knees. If it feels good, you can rock back and forth. Just take a little organic movement here, whatever feels good on your back. Give yourself a little self-massage. Apanasana is a great little reset button, helps make your back feel better. All the length of your spine. All right, and then we're going to roll to one side, whichever side's easiest for you. Come on up. And we're going to take a seated posture in Sukhasana, a simple cross-leg pose. So go ahead now with your blanket and unroll where we had it in the blanket roll before, and let's sit down on the blanket in Sukhasana. So we're just going to bring that little blanket support underneath the pelvis, underneath the hips, and just sit kind of on the edge of the blanket, not all the way back, but just kind of on the very end so that your pelvis kind of rocks forward and your knees drop down a little bit lower than your hips. Okay, so now you're setting yourself up for a nice stable support of the spine. Inhale, feel your sits bones pressing down, but the crown of your head reaching up, lift up, Expand through your spine. Exhale and sit down squarely. Relax your shoulders. Feel your shoulders dropping down. Imagine that your elbows have weights on them, and that's just helping to create a little bit more space between the ears and the tops of your shoulders. All right, we're going to do a couple of neck stretches here as we begin. So inhaling, we're going to look over the left shoulder. So just rotate your head to the left. Keep your chin parallel to the floor. Feel the stretch as you begin to stretch into the right side of your neck, but don't go overly far. Just stop wherever you feel the first bit of resistance in that stretch. Take another deep breath in, exhale, shoulders relax down a little bit more, and maybe move your neck slightly further. So we're never going to pain, but only to where we feel a deep engagement in the neck. All right, inhale, bring the chin back to center and just simply rotate the other way, stopping wherever you feel the first bit of resistance begin to creep in. Pause there. Deep inhale again, let the left shoulder drop down. Relax into that side of the neck. And maybe you'll find a little more space to move, but remember, it's not about how far we go, it's what it feels like. So just relax into this stretch. And then inhale, bring the chin back to center. Take your left hand and bring it over your head. Fingertips are just going to graze the top of your right ear. Relax your shoulders down. Take a breath in. And then with the lightest of pressure, very light and gentle, just coax your head to tilt over to the left. And sometimes the least amount that you go, the more sensation you'll feel. You may even feel those nerve endings, I know I do, all the way down my right arm, down past the elbow and into my fingertips. All of those nerve endings are connected, and just, again, the lightest of pressure with the hand. One more breath. Inhale, bring that neck back to center, drop the hand down. Let's try the other side. The right hand comes around now, so my fingertips just barely touch the top of my ear. Breath in, and then relax the left shoulder down. Begin to tilt your head so slightly. Oof, I feel that going all the way down my arm. It's like almost like an electric shock. There's so much tension that's connected from the neck down into all those extremities. Such a simple stretch, but boy, is it good. One more breath. Inhale and bring it back to center. Bring your arms down. We're going to place the hands in the lap and just begin to roll the shoulders, rolling them one and the other, getting a little range of motion and thinking about not just the shoulders, but your shoulder blades. So kind of squeeze those shoulder blades in the back and then open them forward. Little shimmy, little seated shimmy. I guess that's a good way to put this. If you feel any creaks or clicks, slow down. Just allow your body to enjoy the process. All right, one more forward and back, and then come back to center. All right, so I've got one more seated stretch here. We're going to bring the arms forward. Fingers are going to reach forward as far as you can. And then we're going to bring both forearms up. So my elbows are roughly the same height as my shoulders. I'm going to cross my right elbow over my left. You're going to bring the backs of your hands together, but keep pressing your elbows forward. Now, if you wish, you can take an additional twist Twist your hands around one more time and bring the palms together. That really doesn't matter. Keep pressing your elbows forward. So you can see that my elbows are just pressing forward, and you're going to feel this all the way in the upper back as the shoulder blades start to loosen up, start to open up. Breathe into this stretch. Relax all the tension out. One more breath. This is eagle arms, Garandasana arms. And then slowly untwist your arms, bring them back and down. Once again, just kind of roll those shoulders around, open everything up, do a little shimmy. And then we'll come back and do the other side. So fingers forward to begin, forearms up. This time we're going to cross the left over the right, so the other direction. Twist the hands if you wish, or just place the backs of the hands together and push those elbows forward. Concentrating on the breath, opening the back of the heart here. We don't often think about the back of the heart, but it has four sides, right? So we don't just open from the front, but we open from the back. So a lot of times it gets very closed down, especially underneath the shoulder blades. And there's a lot of tension that gets really trapped underneath those shoulder blades. I know I get all kinds of little knots in there, and it's hard to release. So Garandasana arms is a great way to do that. One more breath here. You still smiling? Unwind your hands, bring them down, and one more time, just loosen those shoulders up. All right. So from here, we're going to go ahead and come off of the seated position, and we're going to come into tabletop position, all fours. I would suggest taking the blanket or the towel, whatever you're using, open it up so you have a little support for your knees, because we're going to be on the knees for a little while, and just might kind of soften your knee position, make it a little easier as we move along. All right, so remember, in tabletop position, we want to always create a nice square box. So our alignment cues are that the wrists, elbows, and shoulders are in a straight line, and my knees are directly under the center of my hip joint. So once you've got those four sides of your box in place, let's bring the crown of the head forward, reaching the head as if you've got something on that top of your head pulling you off the mat, and then your tailbone is also reaching back. So I use this example often. If your spine was a strand of pearls, you're opening them up, creating the spaces in between. Deep breath here, lifting your abs. Your lower abs are supporting your lower back. And then we'll start to move just a little bit of little flexion and extension. Let's come into a cow tilt by letting the belly just completely drop down. Tailbone's going to reach up. Heart is reaching forward. The music's getting a little hot here. And we're just going to inhale. And then exhale. Drop your head down. Lift the back of your heart up. Bring your chin to your chest and stretch into a cat stretch. So really pushing down through your thumb joint, separating your shoulder blades, stretching into cat stretch. Deep inhale brings you right back to cow. Deep exhale into cat. So just do this 3 or 4 more times, moving at your own pace, synchronizing your movements with the breath in and out. And maybe repeating that mantra to yourself. As I inhale, I open my heart. Exhaling, I feel joy and compassion. Keep it going. A couple more times. Nice and strong. It's almost Halloween, so when you go into cat, you can think about a Halloween cat. It's a good visual, pushing all the way up. And then we'll all meet back in a neutral tabletop position. All right, from tabletop, we're going to bring the knees a little bit wider than the hips. Bring your toes in, so your big toes are going to come into touch. With your right arm, reach it out into a T off the shoulder. Lift it all the way up to the ceiling. Nice big stretch, open up underneath the armpit. And then exhale, we're going to bring it down, thread it underneath the left, and come to rest on your right shoulder and shoulder blade just behind the right ear. Nice deep breath here as we thread the needle. And with your left arm, you have an option to either leave it palm down, or you can take that arm around to the back of the body, bringing it all the way around and maybe hooking your fingers into the hip crease on the right side. So that is a complete option. Always like to offer different variations so that you can accommodate for what feels best in your body today. Nice deep breath, that right shoulder blade really opening up here now. Relaxing. Take the left arm back around. If you had it up, palm down, lift yourself up. Right palm comes down. Let's try the other side. Left arm sweeps up. Pause at the top of that sweep. Really open up underneath the armpit. And then sweep it down and under the right. Come to rest on your left shoulder and shoulder blade. Oof. Keep breathing. Nothing calms the body, mind, and spirit like connecting with your breath. If you want to, take that right arm around to the back. Wrap it around. That's just going to open up your right shoulder a little more if you want to. One more breath here. Oof, it's one of my favorite stretches. And then take the right arm back around, palm down, lift yourself up. Bring your knees back up so that they're underneath your hips. And then we're going to walk the hands backwards, coming to sit all the way up. Take a little camel stretch here. So in camel, we have the knees underneath the hips, so we've got a nice solid base from the hip joints all the way down. We're going to engage the lower core, so we're going to root down through the lower part of the body. Abdomen is engaged, my tailbone is pressing down, so we don't want to be here with the booty sticking out. We want to have everything kind of lengthening down toward the mat. Bring the energy up the top part of your body. Lift up, roll the shoulders back, and just to start with, we're going to bring the hands down, but we're just going to squeeze the shoulder blades together in the back. So we're going to start with a little baby, a little gentle baby camel. Start to lift your heart a tiny bit more. Chin is just barely angling up, but your fingertips keep reaching down. So if somebody had a cord around your fingers and they were pulling it down to the earth, that's how you're going to feel, pushing those fingers down. Heart is up. All right, bring it back to neutral. This time we're going to bring the arms up and overhead. Deep inhale here. Take the right arm around. Nice circular motion. Bring it all the way to the back. And then the right fingers are going to reach down. Left arm is going to continue to reach up. As we come into half camel, maybe taking a little bit more of a back bend here as you lift your heart up. If this is difficult or creates strain on your neck, then simply bring your neck down and you can keep the same body position whether your neck is looking up or down. So you see it doesn't affect my heart. It simply releases the neck. So the heart is nice and open all the way across the top body. All right, inhale, bring the right hand back up. We're going to do the same on the left side. Circle the left arm around, nice and slow. Range of motion, pressing the left fingers down, right fingers up. Deep inhale, fill your lungs with air like they're a big hot air balloon, lifting you up, expanding. half camel or half Ustrasana. And then bring the left arm back up. Take your hands back down to the mat. Come right back into tabletop and take a cat stretch. So press your upper back up. Nice deep cat stretch. Let your head just drop down. And then come into a neutral spine. All right, go ahead and curl your toes under. Lift your knees off the mat and let's press those hips up and back for downward facing dog. If you want to, you can move the blanket here. If it gets in your way, you can leave it if you like. All right, downward facing dog. Knees can be soft. We haven't done a thing with the hamstrings this morning, so if they're tight, then just keep your knees nice and soft. You can take a generous bend in the knee, but press your thighs toward the back. Lift your sits bones high and press down through your thumb joint between the thumb and the index finger. Feel your shoulder blades sliding to the side of your body. Your neck should be nice and comfortable, no strain or pain in the neck. Deep breath in all the way up and down the spine. And let it out through the mouth. One more breath in. And out. And 3 times a charm, another cleansing breath. And out. Very nice. From here, let's walk the feet up to the front of the mat. Sometimes I gotta wonder where those words come from out of my mouth. Come to the front of the mat, come to forward fold position. Once again, you can keep your knees soft. Let your head just hang down, bobble around if you will, releasing any residual tension that might be in the neck or upper back. We've worked out a lot. You can even kind of sway from side to side if that feels good. And remember, if your hands don't comfortably reach the mat, always suggest that you use blocks or support to bring your hands and bring the earth up to you. All right, from this ragdoll, this forward folding position, we're going to walk our hands up the body, coming all the way to the top. Rise slowly so you don't get dizzy on the way up. Bring the arms up and overhead. Nice full body stretch here with mountain legs. And exhale, bring your hands by your side. Inhale, we're going to bring both arms up and interlace the fingers. Press your palms up to the ceiling. So I have interlaced fingers, palms reaching up. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, we're going to take a little crescent bend over to the left. So press down through the outside of your right ankle. Feel the stretch up and down the right side. Press down through that right foot and slightly roll the right shoulder back. Another breath here. Inhale, come up to center and take that same fold the other way. So bending over to the right. Feeling the left side get that stretch. Deep breath here. So now we're opening the sides of the heart. All 4 sides of the heart are going to be really open today. Inhale, bring your arms back to center. Release your hands and forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up, lifting just to a flat back. Roll your shoulders. Your shoulder blades down, your back, crown of the head is reaching forward. Bring the weight just to the balls of your feet or slightly more to the balls of your feet. And then exhale and forward fold. Stepping back to downward facing dog once again. Nice deep stretch in downward dog. And then from downward dog, we're simply going to roll forward, coming to a plank position momentarily. So we want to be able to stack once again the wrists, elbows, and shoulders, creating a really stable base for the front part of the body. My back is nice and neutral, so it's not popped up and it's not slinking down. It's really nice and strong. One more breath here. You got it. And then slowly, you can bring your knees down if you like and lower yourself all the way down to the belly in a prone position. All right, from this belly down position, we want to flatten the tops of the feet down onto the mat. Maybe make your feet a little bit wider than hip distance so you can make your legs a little bit more of a stable base here. Rock back and forth and just feel that you are equally weighted on both hips. And then see if you can find the pubic bone. Pressing the pubic bone down, really pushing down through the pubic bone engages your core muscles. And then you're going to lift just your shoulders up. You're going to take your hands back behind you. Palms can either be up or down, whatever's most comfortable for you. But keep pressing down through the lower abs and the pubic bone and reach the crown of your head forward off the mat. This is Shalabhasana or locust pose. Reach those fingers back toward the tops of your feet. My legs are grounded. My lower core is grounded. Little bit of a back bend in the upper part of the body, but my spine is nice and long. One more breath, and then exhale. Bring the hands, bring the shoulders down, rest and relax. You can bring your head all the way down if you wish for a breath. All right. From Shalabhasana, we're going to bring our hands forward. Place the palms down underneath the shoulders. This time, hugging my elbows tight into the body. We're going to do that same action with the lower body. So pressing the lower abs down, engage that core. And then same thing, when I do that, I'm able to lift up the front part of the body. And you can come into whatever variation of cobra you would like. So you can come into a baby cobra with the head, fairly low down. You can come up to a medium size. Or if you're really open this morning and you want to come on up to a little higher cobra. So just find one that suits your body this morning, suits your lower back. Keep pressing down through the lower part of your body. Deep breath here. Remember, my neck is nice and long. And then lower it all the way down. Take your arms out front, crossing your arms underneath your forehead. Let your forehead come all the way down, and we're going to take a breath in Makarasana, crocodile pose. And here you can just release your lower body, release your glutes. Soften everything down and take a resting breath. Very nice. My heart is open and grateful today. Taking your hands back underneath your shoulders, press yourself up and back, and let's take a nice child's pose for a moment. Just releasing the lower back down, curling the tailbone down toward the earth. Arms are going to stay outstretched. An extended child. And then come on back up to hands and knees position. All right, we're going to start to flow just a little bit here. We're going to get a little bit of movement going. So go ahead and curl your toes under. Let's press up and back, downward facing dog once again. Deep breath in and out. Make sure it's nice, long, stretchy dog this morning. And then from downward dog, we're going to bring our right leg forward for a low runner's lunge. Or you can drop down to tabletop, remember, and take a two-step approach to getting the right leg forward. So come into a low lunge. Please use your blocks if that helps you to feel supported. They're always there to help. So either of those variations is always fine. Stretch back, just take that Achilles, maybe give it a little bit of stretch. Don't want to leave the legs out entirely because we're going to use them here in just a second. So from our low lunge position, left hand is going to come down on the mat or the block. The right arm comes out into a T, and then we're going to lift up for a lunging twist. shoulders reaching high. My arms are stacked one over the other. Deep breath in. Right hand is going to reach back toward my toes. Inhale, right arm comes back up and then reaches around forward. So we just made a beautiful half arc. And then the right hand comes down to the mat. Lower the left knee. Sink into your hips just for a moment. Feel that stretch on the left psoas, the left hip flexor, and lift up strongly, starting with your hands on the top of your right thigh. Remember your alignment cues, knee over ankle. Make sure you feel supported. Lift up through the pelvic floor. Feel your support coming from the core. And then lift your arms up. As your fingers rise, make a conscious decision to drop and relax your shoulders. One more breath here. If you wish, you can take a little back bend if you're feeling it this morning. And then exhale, bring your hands back down to the mat. Lift your left knee up. From this low lunging position, we're going to use a little strength to lift up to high lunge. So harness your core energy, bring it into the center. Lift yourself up. Left leg is nice and strong. Arms are going to reach up and overhead. High lunge. Center your gravity right into your core, the very middle of your body. Beautiful. And from high lunge, bring your hands right back down to a low lunge position. Left leg is going to come forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift all the way up, slow rise to the top. Exhale and forward fold once again. With that same left leg, we're going to step back. Initially just to a low lunge, but then we're going to drop the heel of that left foot and lift up to a warrior one position. So this time, my foot is down, my heel is down, my arms are reaching up. Square your hips to the front. Sink into your warrior one. Heart is lifted. Nice and strong. I open my heart to this day. And then bring your arms around to the back of the body. Interlace your fingers behind. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and press your knuckles down to the mat. Deep breath here, opening in gratitude and joy for this day. And then we're going to slowly come forward with a flat back, coming to humble warrior. If you can, bringing a flat back position over that front right leg. Decide for yourself if you want to dip down any further or just come halfway. It's up to you. And then slowly rise back to the top. Release your hands. Arms reach up. And then step forward to the front of the mat. Inhale. Arms reach up and overhead. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale. Forward fold. Step back to downward facing dog. Deep breath here, all the way in and out. One full cleansing breath. Exhale. Release. Left foot is going to come forward for low runner's lunge, so bring it up. Help it up there with a helping hand if you need to. Come into your initial lunging position. Stretch that Achilles a little bit. A little rock back and forth kind of helps open everything up. And then right hand is going to plant down on the mat for support. Left arm is going to come out into a T. And then rotate your heart to the left as you lift up for your lunging twist. Nice deep breath at the top of that twist. Exhale, hands reach back toward my toes. Inhale, reach it back up to the top. And circle it all the way around, reaching it forward and then down. Drop your right knee down. Sink into your hips just a little bit here. Give yourself time to feel that stretch. If you haven't done this one already today, sometimes that's a little intense. And then lift yourself up as you're ready. Hands come to the top of your thigh. Settle your body down. And then lift your arms up. Fingers reaching skyward, but then consciously relax those shoulders. Another deep breath in. Take the back bend if you wish. As you exhale. Inhaling again, lift fingers up. And then exhale, hands down to the mat. Lift the right knee back up. Strong right leg as we prepare for high lunge. Core energy lifts you up, reaching up, arms overhead, nice strong lunging position. Remember, tailbone is reaching down, heart is lifted. I open my heart with this flow and this practice. And then exhale, bring your hands right back down to the mat. Right foot slides forward, forward fold. Inhale, rise to the top. Arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing hands. Exhale, once again, forward fold, Uttanasana. That same right foot is going to step back once again with the heel down this time, preparing for Warrior One. Left knee is over my left ankle. Inhale, rise strongly to the top. Beautiful Virabhadrasana 1. Open your heart like a victorious warrior. And then once again, bring your hands around to the back of the body as we prepare for Humble Warrior. Knuckles pressing down. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Even if you don't come forward, if you don't want to take the hinge forward, just stay here and open that heart. If you wish to hinge forward, coming to a flat back position over the front left leg. Fingers reaching toward the back of the mat. Spine and core is strong. You got this. Inhale, slow rise back to the top. Release your hands. Arms come back up and overhead. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Left leg slides back. Downward facing dog. One full breath here. Exhale and release. Inhale, come forward, knees down. Exhale, take a child's pose. 3 full breaths here. Is open and lifted to this day. All right, very nice. So come on back forward, and we're going to come to hands and knees position. All right. From hands and knees position, we did a lot of back bendy kind of openers. So we're going to take a, actually, let me back that up. Start with hands and knees position. We're going to take one more back bend, and then we're going to do a counter pose to that. So starting in tabletop position, go ahead and walk your feet back, or your knees backwards. So you're going to just walk your knees so that you're lengthening out through the arms. You're going to keep, as you can see, you're going to keep your knees stacked under your hips. And then you're just going to allow your arms to come forward, walking your hands. And you're going to start to lower your heart down, just melting it toward the mat. If your forehead can come down to the mat, that's great. If you want to put a block under your forehead for melting heart, you can do that as well. Or you have the option of just taking one arm at a time and bringing one arm forward and then switching to the other. in this position, Anahatasana. We're allowing the heart to feel super heavy. Gravity is pulling it down and grounding our heart energy into the earth. Switch your arms if you're only doing one at a time. Start to lift yourself up. Walk your knees forward once again. Coming back into tabletop position. Take a nice strong cat stretch. So let your head drop down. Crown of the head is reaching toward the mat now. The back of my heart is reaching up. The strongest Halloween cat. And then I want you to hold this cat position and walk your hands backwards toward your knees. We're coming into hare. So it's a little tricky. Bring your hands back toward your knees, walking it. You're going to keep that arch in place. So keep pushing up toward the ceiling. Once you bring your hands toward your knees, start to bend your elbows backwards, allowing your head to drop forward and down. So the crown of my head is slowly descending down toward the mat. You're going to stop before you bring any weight onto the head. So it's just going to hover there above the mat. You might even feel it tickling a little bit. Keep pushing up through the cat stretch. And then hands are going to come and reach around. See if you can grab hold of your shins or your heels. You can stay in this position for a few breaths, or if you wish, release your hands, bring them around to the back of the body. Once again, interlace the fingers, and then reach your hands up toward the ceiling. This is a little tricky because you don't want to let any weight drop down onto your head. Your head is nice and it's just still hovering. So it takes a little core strength. You're still pressing into that cat stretch. You're still arching your back. Now see if you can relax. I know it's not that easy. Take your hands down if you had them up, sliding forward. Palms down. It's kind of hard to talk when I'm in hare pose too, so hopefully you can hear me okay. Come back to table position and then come on down to your seat. Oof. That was a lot of work for the upper back today. I hope it's feeling good for you. We're going to go ahead and roll on down. And we are right up to the end of our time. Went by quickly today. Come on down. And let's just bring both of our feet up toward the ceiling. Slide your hands up the sides of your legs. Grab hold of your shins, your ankles, or your feet, and see if you can press down from the top of your spine all the way to the bottom. So without rocking yet, without doing anything else in Happy Baby, just apply a little pressure of the weight of your body, stretching the spine out and down. Deep breath here. Let your knees open up. Hips open a little bit. Didn't do much hip work today either. But we can do that the next time. All right, and if it feels good, go ahead and let yourself rock around. Rocking in Happy Baby. Just relaxing. And then release your feet. Extend your legs down and just find a really soft, neutral position for a few moments of Shavasana. Arguably the best part of practice. awareness back to your breath, back to the soft inflow and outflow of your natural breath. Imagine your body warming in the sun. Maybe you're on a beach, maybe you're in a beautiful sunny field, maybe you're in a hammock. Allow your breath to soften and release your body from anything else it needs to do right now. Fully embrace the joys and the peace and calm of Shavasana. Just feel the warmth sink into your body as you embrace this day ahead with a beautiful open heart. Back to your place and space on the mat. Feel free to stay here as long as you like. If you're ready to close practice, you can begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Deep breath in, point your toes, lift your arms up. Let's take a nice full body stretch, top to bottom. Let it out and then begin to bend your knees. Once again, hug your knees in. Lift your head, roll up. As you're ready, join together again. Seated posture on the mat. Closing practice together, let's lift our arms up, reach them overhead. Deep breath in as we reach the top. Exhale, draw that energy, that open-hearted spirit and calm right to the center. May you enjoy peace of mind and peace of heart the rest of this beautiful Sunday. Thank you so much for practicing today. Om Shanti. and namaste. Thank you so much.